All right, and we are live. It is Monday, December 13th. Really excited to be with you here on a Monday. I'm going to go ahead and mute any background noise. We've been having a little bit of technical things as we got started, so we're going to keep everyone muted. Whenever you want to speak up, you are welcome, of course, to do that. As you've noticed, you have me on Monday, a little bit of a change, but like I mentioned before, it is great to switch it up a little bit and, just kind of embrace this change. So I am here with you today and on Friday versus middle of the week sessions. I have some family things going on, and so my mother is flying in tomorrow, so I need to pick her up from the airport, and then we have a big family event on Thursday. So there we are, and so we have switched it up a little bit. Really great to see a lot of familiar faces. Welcome, Derek, to your first daily success call. We're happy you made it. And welcome to the Low Hanging System. We do consider ourselves like an extended family. As you noticed in the beginning of the call, people were kind of helping each other out. Students were helping each other out and just giving advice and really sharing what they've learned thus far. And that is a tradition here in the Low Hanging System family. So if you do come on early or even stay later, then you will get assistance from the students. Anyone who wants to change their name, you can click on those three little dots on the side of your screen, on the little square of your screen, and it says rename, and you can change your name to whatever you want to do. I'd like to say hello to Anne as well, and Deborah. Oh, we need to go here. This is what's different. There we go. I'd like to say hello to Anne and Deborah. We've got two Deborahs with us, Leanne and Jan and Chukwemeka and Rima. I hope I'm saying that right, maybe Rima. Marguerite, welcome. And Tracy, welcome. Scott, you're here. Great to see you. Here's George. Also, we met yesterday. Welcome. I'm glad you made it. Welcome to our daily success calls that we have every day at this time. Sarah, hi, good to see you. Haven't seen you in a minute. Good to see you. Sibu, welcome. Jen and Kathy and Eric and Em. We've got Dalal, welcome. Patricia, Janice, and Gwyneth, and Roxana. Great to see you here, Roxana. Nadea, hi. We had a nice conversation on our last Thursday. Sean and Pablo and Liz, great to see you here. And Amber and Karen and Liana. Liana made it. Great to see you here, Liana. And many students coming online as we speak. I will say, all of these calls are live streamed on YouTube, as you know. So if you ever miss a call, you can always catch the recording on YouTube. All right. So for today, we talked on Thanksgiving, we talked about gratitude, right? Being thankful for the things that you are. And we went into a nice deep discussion about, how do we even find that frequency of gratitude within us when we're not really all feeling that great. It really is sometimes this inner journey or even a habit that we need to cultivate to really be mindful of rising with an attitude of gratitude every morning. That's what we ask you to do as part of your daily mode of operation. And recently, and it was a wonderful talk, and it was a great, really great to review all of that. But recently, I was, kind of approached with this idea of being grateful for what you don't have yet. Now, this is different than just kind of setting goals and having intentions and maybe writing out a declaration like Napoleon Hill talks about in Think and Grow Rich. This is different. This is actually having a gratitude for what you don't have yet. Let's say you're trying to buy this $1 million house or, whatever car you want to drive, and you're already expressing within your physical being gratitude for something that you don't have in your possession yet. And that can be in a moment we can kind of pause and say, wait, how does that work? Because, I'm training myself to be grateful for what I have. Now I need to start to stretch my mind to be grateful for things that I don't have. But it really is a beautiful exercise. One of the ideas that we talked about previously, a long time ago, really, one of the books that we recommend that you start reading, Secrets of a Millionaire's Mind by T. Harv Eker, he talks about blessing the things that you want. It's a Huna philosophy, and Huna is an ancient wisdom coming from the Hawaiian elders, so it's an ancient teaching. And he talks about, let's say you see that car, you see that house, you give blessing. What happened now? Oops, somebody took over the sharing their screen. Is that Deborah? Deborah, you're sharing your screen. Let me see. Okay, so who can share? Only host. There we go.
I don't think that I don't know that much technology to share that
set
right now.
That's okay. That's okay. We got it. We got it. All right. So Monday is great for these kinds of things, right? It's like that day that we just get shaken up and thrown into this week and like, yes, let's charge with full power. So all right, we're into the Huna philosophy. And so this idea is that you bless what you want. So if you see that car that you're looking for, if you see that house, you give it a blessing versus, any kind of negative talk. Oh, they have this and they have that, and I want this and that. You just bless these people. So that's something that Secrets of a Millionaire's Mind talks about in his book. Now, but I want to differentiate because this is different. This is seeing that car that you want, or the house that you want, or the sales in your bank, or the number in your bank that you want, and already being grateful for having it. And as we open up, I want you to start thinking about it already right now, but as we start opening up the conversation, I want you to think about, what kind of, is that, first of all, would that even be easy for you to do? Is it something that you can approach with an open mind? Or is it something that you don't feel so comfortable with, right? All answers are welcome. And this is a safe space to express yourself. So I won't, there's no right or wrong answer. We want to hear from all of you and your opinions. I just want to kind of put that out there so that you already start thinking, how do you feel about being grateful for something that hasn't come your way? What kind of emotions does it evoke in you? And as you start to think about that in your mind right now, we have to acknowledge that we all have these personal limitations that we put on our mind, on our thoughts. And those personal limitations can sometimes affect our ability to create abundance in our life. And when we make this shift, to make this change, to stop these habituated outcome of this type thinking, right? Because we're here today, we've experienced, we've thought things in our mind, we've expressed gratitude, and we are here today, we've gathered. Now, if we're thinking about that $1 million house, that vehicle that we want, the millions in our bank account, the millions in sales, are we already able to step beyond our limitations and to maybe even become limitless or unlimited, and already be thankful for the things that we have not asked for? It's interesting. I don't know if you can hear the sound, but there's no rain in Texas today, but my windshield wipers start going. This is just to kind of see about this technology stuff that we've been having since the beginning of this call. So yeah, so this is how I want to direct our conversation today, and really try to embrace this idea of being grateful for the things that we don't have yet. And Derek is saying that he thanks the Lord every day since I died in 2000. Okay, that would be a story for you to share here in just a moment. And I'll just kind of summarize what we're talking about and say, to really bring emphasis on, yes, we rise with an attitude of gratitude for the things that we have right now in our possession. We say thanks for the roof over our head, for the health, for our health, for our family, for our loved ones, for the air that we breathe, the eyesight that we have, our limbs. But what I'm bringing to our discussion is different, and it taps into your desires, your goals. We talk about this a lot in the low-hanging system, even from day one. As you start entering this accelerated process, we start kind of gearing you into looking at the goals that you're setting for yourself. What are the goals that you want? Can you already be grateful that you have them, that you've attained? What does that feeling feel like? Does it feel like it comes natural to you? Or is it something that you need to really tap into and work on and make sure that you are coming at it from this space of, because it is a frequency and we need to align to that. We need to really tap into that from the inside. And sometimes, we need that pattern, that habituated, reoccurring event, to keep on doing it, to keep at it until it becomes more natural, until we can really sense it in our skin, and then feel grateful for the things that we don't yet have. So that's where I want to direct our conversation. And again, I want to hear from everyone. All opinions are welcome. If you feel like this is so out of touch of what you are used to thinking or how you want to go about your day, then please say that, and we can look at that. If this is something that comes naturally to you, then also bring that to the table so we can all learn from your past experiences. There are no right or wrong answers, like I said. It's all about just sharing with community and, expressing with everyone. I see no hands are coming up, but I know that Scott has some things to share with us. I know it. Hey, Scott, our other Scott is here as well. Melanie's here. Great to see you. We're talking about, hey, Doris, nice new face there for me. We're talking about being grateful for the things that you don't have yet. Who would like to share with our group first? Who's going to be the first brave one to step up? Let's see. Any hands going up? Deborah, no? Is it Deborah, or did you just pop up? Here we go. There's Scott. I know. I can call you out now. I know you always share on my calls. I know both Scotts for this matter. So I'm happy to have both of you here. Yes, please share your ideas with us.
Hello, Karen. I'm just thinking. You talk about being grateful for something you don't have, which obviously, the moment you even mention that, it smacks of a different sort of logic, in the sense you don't have an apple and an orange occupying the same space at the same point of time. There's a logical incontinuity in what you're saying, which is fine. But I think it ties into the idea of believing you'll receive something before you've received it. Mm-hmm. Basically, you are creating a mental construct, but you're not creating a construct based on our current perception of the three-dimensional world. You're actually trying to create a construct in, dare I say it, a parallel reality, if you like, and trying to convince the subconscious that parallel reality is the real reality. And then presumably the subconscious then will help you attain that altered reality, because the subconscious will accept it as real, because it will do what you tell it to do. And it doesn't know, but as you know, it will give you whatever you want, good, bad, right, wrong, but also whether it's real in the sense we conventionally understand, or real in the sense that we don't conventionally understand. And what you're talking about is something that is real, but not in the sense we conventionally understand. You're grasping into the future and bring it to the present, which is not logical in our normal way of thinking. But the subconscious will accept that, because it can't discriminate between what's real in the three-dimensional world and what's real in a world of parallel possibilities. It's the same thing to the subconscious. That's how I see it anyway.
Exactly. And I like that you started your talk, and you said, well, you're asking me to do something that is might sometimes be intuitively uncomfortable, or like not natural, like not my normal way of doing it. And that's exactly why from this past, use with an gratitude and just kind of go. Now it's stretching those limitations, understanding that we're reprogramming, understand that sometimes what we're saying in our mind, up here, is not what the subconscious is thinking, down below, if we can kind of give them different layers. And so we're actually saying, all right, I understand that. And now I want to work in different layers. I want to reach all of that. And so I want to reach out into the ether, into, let's see, let's go here, I believe, and really be able to reprogram. And by reprogramming, I'm actually creating my future. So exactly was what I was, and thank you so much for bringing that and expressing it in such a beautiful way. I always love to hear from you, Scott. Thank you so much. Tracy. Glad to see your hand up
Good
here.
evening,
Let's see.
everybody.
I'll lower your hand.
Hi.
Yes.
I just wanted to add just a little bit on what Scott has said, that, you know, one of the things I tend to do, whether it's something I don't already have or what I already have, I talk a lot of things into existence. So, you know, we're talking about being grateful for the things that we don't quite have at the moment, or the opportunities, or what our future may look like. But for me, I'm a true believer that I spend daily, weekly, you know, I spend an awful lot of time talking things into existence. And it probably is uncomfortable for some people. And it's not a case of if that happens. For me, it's when it happens. You know, and even when you wake up in the morning and we, you know, sometimes we have bad days, you still continue to believe and talk things into existence, because if you don't believe it, you're not going to prepare yourself for it, and it won't happen. That's just my thoughts. And I just think that's the way you obtain whatever it is that you want in the future. But obviously, let's be realistic. It doesn't happen for everything or everybody.
Right. Right. And I love that you said, you know, it can be uncomfortable, which is exactly where I wanted to kind of push that button, because it's like, okay, now you're asking me to be grateful for things that I haven't received yet. And I don't know if I'm going to receive them. That's a lot of faith that we're asking. You know, we're asking to have that faith that, yes, you said, I speak things into existence. You know, the words have power. And that's exactly true. We even take it a step into, you know, our thoughts are things. Our thoughts have power. And you know, speaking the words out loud is something that, you know, that's how you are designing and creating. It's like your canvas, your painting, you know, your picture, your reality. And it is through those words, and it is through that right mindset of what are you creating right now in your reality? What are you, you know, where are your thoughts going? Are they serving you, or are you serving them? Are they taking over, you know, everything that you're trying to create? Are they even leading you on the path that you want to go down? And you said, you know, sometimes we receive quicker than other times, and sometimes we, you know, it takes a bit longer, and maybe we don't know in our current position the full and global picture of what we're trying to create. But the more we can distance ourselves and have that higher view, higher vista, you know, give that bigger, fuller perspective, we can really start to see that bigger picture. Oftentimes, you know, you mentioned when people are in this kind of lower space where they're not feeling great, they're not feeling grateful, and they're not feeling, you know, just in a good space, which does happen. We have to acknowledge that happens. How do you still pull yourself out of that? And it you know, gratitude is a frequency. It's like, you know, often we talked about smiling. I think that was on a couple of weeks ago, you know, how the smile can just transform your whole mood. And it's not just, you know, your attitude brings a smile, but the smile can change your attitude. So it can be as simple as that. And the words that you speak, the thoughts that you speak, can transform your whole life. So thank you, Tracy. That's beautiful. And I'm so happy to hear that you practice this daily. That's really important. Consistency is key. Deborah, I'm glad your hand came up. Are you ready? Oh, here we go.
Yes, Scott again almost stole my thunder, but I'll tell you very quickly. I feel like Eddie now. Story, September 11th, I believe it was, when the trade centers here in the U.S. were hit. I had a thing that hit me that said, okay, Deborah, it's time to get certain parts of your life together. I said, I want a house. I love to have a magnolia tree. I need a garden. And I also put out there, I said, I was saying this to myself, and I like to have 2 levels of basement so I can have an office and we somewhere and put this big screen TV that my husband has that occupies the whole house. And I didn't know where the money was coming. I didn't know if he had it. I didn't know if I could gather enough money up to get it. But when I came back from convention, because I was on my way to Asheville, North Carolina, to convention with 2 other ladies. When I came back, I said, when I come back, I'm adamant, when I come back, I'm going to make this change. I'm a real estate agent. I'm a realtor. So I'm going out here and looking for a piece of property. So that's what I did. I had perimeter and I found the house. I walked in it, and I had just brought my 88-year-old uncle to live with us. So you had at the time 2 50-year-olds, and it had a 30-year-old and also a 80-year-old that had to have a space. But what happened, I walked into the house we're in here. It was the 3rd house I saw. And I said, this is it. I believe it's it. Went to the basement. This is it. And it was amazing when I went outside, there was a big old magnolia tree. I didn't even see it. I said, wow, there's a magnolia tree. And then they had a 2-tier garden on the side. Right. I said, wow, this is unbelievable. But if you have a secret, I've had this thing since it came out, you do put things into existence. And until I heard it again within a month ago, I said, by golly, that's it. And you have to not only say believe it, but you have to be adamant it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And it may not happen when you want it, like someone just said, but it will happen. So I wish everybody success. I've been kind of lagging here trying to get things together, things count set up, getting cards and everything ready. But I'm still adamant it's going to happen. And you have to be that way. That's it.
Wonderful, Deborah. Wonderful. And thank you for kind of finalizing and bringing us back into the business, because those are things that we can be grateful for. Can we be grateful for $1 million in sales? Can we be grateful for all the mugs that we've shipped out successfully with no hiccups in the middle? You know, like, well, we have to be careful with the language that we use. But, you know, can we be grateful for the millions of mugs that we've already shipped out? Great one. Melanie, how do we really know that we're talking to our subconscious? Well, the subconscious is always listening. And so that it matters the language that you are speaking to yourself, to others. And you just, you know, reprogram that. You go deep into the layers, and it's an emotion as well. That's why, you know, we can just kind of sit here and go, well, I'm thankful for my car. I'm thankful for my $1 million in sales, you know, and it will look like that. And we won't really believe ourselves. But if we're like, yes, I'm thankful for my car. I'm thankful for the $1 million in sales and all the mugs that everyone bought and they loved my designs. You know, that kind of attitude really, really also gets us up and excited. And eventually the subconscious believes it and creates that reality for us. So that is a great question. Thank you so much, Deborah. We like the trips down memory lane. That's, you know, we do consider ourselves all connected as a big one family. So it's great to hear your stories. Scott, here you are. Both Scotts with their hands up. That's it. Yes, we made it. I love it.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. When you asked that question near the end of it, I really went, oh, wow. What is it that I'm really, really grateful for that's coming my way, that I'm projecting of where I'm going to be in my, you know, because I try to live on the edge of right now and staying in the moment. And I feel like as long as I'm in this moment and I have more of a chance of visioning where I'm going to go and where I'm going to take my next step. So it's almost like having this magical crystal ball. And when the gratitude and the attitude and everything are working real well, this vision comes to you rather quickly every day. And you'll get ideas. And having that, my biggest gratitude in this area is that I'm really thankful for having this reception of ideas coming to me and new opportunities every day, and that I'm recognizing them faster and better, and I'm making more, maybe not logical decisions, but accepting that things are actually being done for me and getting out of my way and not having any fear of the unknown. But as long as I have my vision of my next step, I feel very comfortable about where I'm going. And so that gratitude and that attitude that I've got going on right now it's complex, but it's faithful to me. And it's because I have been training my subconscious to work for me and understanding that it can do those things. So it becomes this huge belief system that you have to install in yourself.
Yes.
To make yourself understand that this is true. So it does take practice. It is not something that is given. It does take a skill. And, there's one basic thing I can say most people have experienced with it, and that would be called prayer. and how that prayer works on the subconscious mind. So if there's anything that I could probably relate to that most people would understand, would be that. So with that, hello, everybody. Have a great day.
I love it, Scott. I love it. And I like that you're being so honest. You're being very honest. You always are, which is something that I admire about you. I'll just kind of encourage Derek. Derek, we see your hand and you will be right after Scott. So hang with us and we would love to hear from you. And so you're always really honest about your journey and what you're going through and where you are.
Karen, I don't know if you can hear us, but you're breaking up pretty badly.
Yeah. I think I lost y'all there for a minute, didn't I?
Where's she gone?
Well, geez, Scott, since she's gone, you got your hand up. I'll help out here. Why don't you take the mic then, since you're next, and
All righty.
she'll pop.
Okay, I'm sure she will. Okay, two things.
I'm back.
Are you back?
All right. Yeah, continue, Scott. I'm back. No worries.
Scott took over the show while you were away. Did a very good job. Can I mention two things then? Talk about the gratitude for things you've already got. I think that falls into the spectrum of the total range of feelings you might have when you have attained something. I mean, yes, you'll feel gratitude. You could also feel, depending on what it is, you could feel peace. You could feel satisfaction. You could feel an overwhelming sense of joy. Gratitude is one of the things you will feel, and it's probably the most powerful. But it's certainly one of those things that come within the spectrum of creating that reality, that concept. But also too, I want to make mention of, there's a lady in this book that, maybe you can see it. No, you can't see it. Anyway, it's called Dying to Be Me by Anita Morgani. She's a lady who literally died because she had cancer all throughout her body. And one thing she said is that she would repeat to herself all the time, I'm so grateful, something along the lines of, I am so grateful that my body is perfectly healthy and free of cancer, or whatever it is. I think it was like something like that. I'm so grateful that my body is now perfectly healthy and free of this disease, or something like that. But she would repeat that to herself over and over again all day long for weeks on end. And what happened is her cancer totally left her body. That's how powerful this alternate reality can be in I won't use the word manifesting, but in creating change in a physical sense.
I agree. I'm a strong believer in that. And I think that medical miracles happen all the time. And it's something that we can acknowledge. I mean, the placebo effect is science. You cannot push any drug into pharmaceuticals without, going through that rigorous placebo testing where you have blinds, where people get nothing if people don't know what placebo effects are. One group, and this is I'm making it very simple, but one group receives no medication and the other is medication.
Breaking up again.
Oh, the group that got that, because those people sometimes spontaneously heal. It's one of those days, I guess, for electronics for all of us. The web. All right, so I'll speak less, and I love hearing from you.
Go ahead, Derek. Why don't you take over? Just unmic yourself if you could. Do you not unmute yourself, Derek?
Hello?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, my name is Derek Gibson. I'm 75-year-old, by the way.
There we go.
So I've been a pensioner for 10 years now. And just to bring you back to what I said quite a lot earlier, I said that I am always pleased to be here when I wake up each morning, because I died in 2000. In actual fact, I was brought back from
Wow.
the precipice, zapped me back to life. But that wasn't the first time, unfortunately, because I also died from double pneumonia. I should have died from double pneumonia, but I came out of a coma when I was 3 months old. And since then, in 2012, I also went into a coma and came back out. So I've been there 3 times.
Wow.
That is why I'm grateful every morning when I wake up. Plus the fact that my desire is to help people. That's all.
Wonderful. I mean, I feel like we need a whole session just to hear this story of like what happened and how, but we don't have that luxury of time. We're always excited to hear from you, Derek. Anything that you want to share?
At this moment in time, I have 17 different diseases.
Oh.
Or ailments, sorry. I've had 3 heart attacks, I've had 2 lots of cancer. I've got 2 slip discs. I've got bad circulation. My legs are in a terrible state. I can hardly walk. And the doctor thinks I'm a walking miracle.
Oh, there you go. That's a way to view it. Walking miracle. I like that one. Walking miracle.
I'm a walk.
We're really glad that you're here with us. And
anyway,
from a
business point of view, my aim is to create a business that can help other people. I mean, I've got 2 or 3 people who are behind me all the way as far as that's concerned. And I'm hoping to create quite a following eventually.
Very nice.
I've got ideas with regards to products that I'm going to actually create based on people's lack of knowledge of history.
Good.
Sounds
so
good.
What I'm hoping to do is to create a system called the Heroes of History, and take all of the different people going way back to the Phoenicians.
Nice.
And I'm hoping to actually create a collection of monks. So all of the people that have created major advances in history with regards to chemistry, mathematics, engineering, all sorts of things like that.
Wonderful.
I mean, my project is, and I can go back to prehistoric times, go all the way back to the Cambrian Age and Silurian Age and the Triassic and Jurassic. I've done all that study all the way through. I mean, I had an encyclopedia in 1947 called the Arthur Mee Encyclopedia, and it wasn't like a normal encyclopedia like Britannica, where you could just go through the numbers, go through the pages, and go through the different titles. The Arthur Mee was actually a series of stories all the way through, no matter what subject it was about. If it was about art, it was all about the artists. If it was about engineering, it was all about the people that in engineering up until the 1947, which is when the book was actually published. I had that book up until probably about 5 years ago. And it got damaged and got thrown away, unfortunately. But
well, great. It sounds like you have your mission set. Sounds like you have your mission set. So that's
got my
great.
mission set.
That's great.
I'm starting starting with Gear Bubble and Etsy, and then I'll move over onto Amazon and eBay.
Sounds great. All right, we're going to listen. Thank you so much for sharing. It's really great to hear from you, and I hope to see you here more and more as a regular. And Doris, let's hear from Doris.
I've got one
yes,
question.
Go ahead. Yeah.
It's very simple. I actually joined LHS, low hanging system, by paying weekly. Do I still get the free mugs or not?
I have no idea. So you would have to reach out to someone from support, rachelreports@gmail.com, or lowhangingecom, or info@lowhangingecom.com, and they would help you out. If you just joined, then you could also ask your accountability rep for some information on that. Well, actually, they wouldn't know. So you'd have to go through that, those two avenues. Yeah, those two emails. It's really hard to hear you. There's something in the internet. Internet is not stable on your end.
I only got onto Facebook today.
Okay.
So I've not even met anybody on Facebook yet.
That's okay. You have a lot of time, and just reach out in an email. So rachelreports@gmail.com or info@lowhangingecom.com.
Right. Okay. Thanks very much.
Yes, definitely. Thank you. And we got Doris. Let's hear from you, Doris.
Okay. I don't know how to enlarge the screen. How do I do that?
I'm not sure. I don't know exactly what you mean by enlarge the screen. Usually there's a little button on the left hand side and you can make it bigger, but that's okay. We can hear you. Okay. So
the only thing I had to say was really listening to all the information and whatnot. I think for me, it all just boils down to faith. Because without the faith, you can dream it all day long, but if you don't have faith that it's going to happen, I really don't think, you've got a whole much of a chance. And I also feel that it's kind of going back to the that launch thing that we watched a few days ago with Mr. Nightingale. You think what you are what you think. Really enjoyed that. And I guess that's all I have to say. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for offering your point of view. All right. I see that Scott has one more thing to say. It's really, really great to hear from you and to hear, you're reaffirming, that idea of faith and just really applying it to your everyday life, which is exactly what we're here to do. So thank you for that. Scott, take us home.
All right. Just want to mention, in the context of faith, I think that's a very significant point because we're often told we should be reading the Bible constantly, and not just daily, but reading the whole thing and then read again, and then soaking our mind and soaking our spirit with all that good stuff from the Bible. And I think that ties into the idea of subconscious using the law of repetition to actually create a neural pathway, which we call a belief. And that's why I think faith can be, Doris said you have to believe. It's hard to believe that you've got something or you can do something when everything in your life has said, you're a failure or you never achieve this, it's very hard to believe. But you can create a belief with the repetition of an idea that is currently real. It sounds like hocus pocus, but it's the way the subconscious mind works. It works on the basis of repetition. That's the only language it really understands. It doesn't, as I said, it doesn't understand right or wrong, real or not real. It just understands repetition. And you bang the idea out like a hammer hitting a nail long enough, it will accept it as real, whether that's a matter of faith or anything else. And once you accept it as real, say, for example, a matter of faith, then wonders begin to happen. Because then you just open a pathway that was never open before. And in matters of faith, that can be amazing. You have an amazing experience of life.
Right. I think that the word faith is often linked to religious attributes, right? We always kind of see them as one entwined with each other, but it doesn't have to be. We can have faith without linking it to religion. You can have faith in infinite intelligence. You can have faith in the universe. You can have faith in yourself and in love, you know, that is out there. So it really is good to kind of keep the idea of faith really broad, so that everyone can, you know, really connect to it in their own ways and understand that talks about it. So oh, here we go. So we need to have a hard stop at 1 o'clock. So we don't have a lot of time left, and it looks like the internet is not doing us great. Derek, let's hear from you one last time, and we will wrap it up and say goodbye for this beautiful Monday. I'm excited that this touched you so deeply, all of you, you know, and everyone has things to share. And I love that there are different ideas wrapped around that. You would have to unmute yourself, Derek, there, and then you can go ahead and share your ideas. As you're getting set, I'll just say that after I finish this session here, everyone is welcome to come back in. I know Scott mentioned that he won't be in the breakout room after this, but usually there are students there helping along. So feel free to come back into the link and have
Hello, the question about making the screen bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Use Control+.
Okay, there you go. There you go. Thank you. Wonderful. See, we're all helping each other along, so that's wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you all for being here. Thanks to, for everyone. You know,
the opposite way.
I'm going to go ahead and, you know, say goodbye. John, the fabulous John, will be here with you tomorrow on Tuesday. He will also be here on Wednesday and Thursday, and I will see you again on Friday after all of my family celebrations. And, you know, I look forward to seeing you at the end of the week. Thank you all for joining. Thank you all for all the help and the assistance, and I'll see you on Friday. Have a good rest of your day. Bye-bye.